the mailman, which I should say mail carrier, mail person, without having to wait for what's with Caitlyn Jenner. All right, so here's what to do next. Like I said, the book is free. All I ask is you cover the postage of $5.60. I'm using USPS. Now, I want to show you something here. The person that's buying the book for shipping only, you've got to justify, even though it's a ridiculously good offer, you've got to justify why you're selling it for the shipping price, like how you came up with the shipping price. If you say the shipping price is $9.97, they're going to know it's not really the shipping price. You're going to lose some goodwill there. They're going to know that you're just pulling it out of your ass. So, like I said, the book is free. All I ask is you cover the postage of $5.60. I'm using USPS, and their flat rate for a book this size is $5.60 shipped anywhere in the United States. If you're out of the country, I'll pick up any extra shipping charges personally. Your book will be shipped same day. As soon as you request it, we ship it to you unless it's in the middle of the night, and then we do it in the morning. We'll also email you with your shipping information. If you're in the U.S., we'll send you a tracking number as well. You can expect to get it in about 5 days if you're in the U.S., right? So if you're doing a shipping, free plus shipping offer, tell them what's going to happen and tell them why the shipping amount is the shipping amount. You'll increase your conversion. I got that $5.60 figure by going to USPS and looking up, I think it was the cost of media mail and like a 1 pound package or whatever the package was. And are y'all laughing at the fact that I've just copied myself so blatantly? Yeah, I told them to do next. I'm into that. Don't judge me. We all are into weird stuff in here, okay? I bet you're into even weirder stuff. You look like the type. You look like you might have a little German in you. Those guys are super weird. I know because I'm a little German. So there's, let's not be weird about it. I don't have to make it weird. Yes, sir.
On that topic, how important is little grammar mistakes or spelling mistakes in copy?
It's best not to have them. I missed it. So you asked how important is little grammar mistakes and spelling mistakes in copy. There's this whole theory that you can make a typo or something that'll increase conversion, and it has probably happened before for someone. But I think as a general rule, it's best not to have spelling mistakes. Grammar mistakes are fine because we write like we talk, and we never use good grammar when we talk. But actually, can you talk with grammar, or is grammar only limited to writing anyway? I don't know. I don't even remember high school. Allegedly, I was there because I've seen my yearbook picture. So I have no idea about any of that kind of stuff. But I try to, do as good as you can in terms of not making typos. But grammar, who cares? All right, so.
Use the spell checker.
Or you could use the spell checker. What is the spell checker of which you speak? You're saying there's some sort of device that can solve these problems. That's like saying that there's this search engine where you can get answers to basic questions that we have. Okay, so I'll do more questions from y'all in a minute. I just want to keep my train of thought here going. So here's what's going to happen. Most people will be like, okay, click here to order. You'll do okay if you just close it out there, but that would be depriving yourself of extra revenue and extra customers and extra sales. It doesn't matter what the offer end is, the person is going to have some concerns. They're going to be like, how do I know this isn't shenanigans? Why does it cost so much? How do I know I can do it? Is this going to work for me? Is this a trick? Which is why I was so descriptive about why I'm charging $5.60. Is this better than another option? Should I do this now or can I wait? There's many of those that we can get out of the way. And of course, it's not going to be relevant. All of these examples won't be relevant for every single situation. So you'll know, but as many of these as we can address and overcome in the copy now, the better we're going to do, generally speaking. So here are some examples. So this is right after me telling them that the book is $5.60, right? So let's have a look here. Which one is it? Is it consulting or convert? I don't even know. I ain't even know. So I'm offering a book for either free, I'll mail it to you, just pay the $5.60 shipping, or you can download it for $5.60. So anyone is going to be like, all right, this is some bullshit. This guy's probably going to try to do X, Y, and Z, all right? So here's how I overcome it. Oh, in case you're wondering, there's no catch. Yeah, I know. There's some websites out there that offer you a great deal on something, but then they stick you in some program that charges your card every month. This isn't one of them. There's no hidden continuity program you have to try or anything else even remotely like that. I'm literally giving you this book for free as a means of putting my best foot forward and demonstrating real value. My hope is that you'll love it, and this will be the start of a good relationship, a good business relationship for years to come. So that's where, when I was selling it $560 as a physically shipped book for the cost of shipping only. All right? Here's how I do it with the consulting book, which is available as an immediate download. All right? There's no catch. I realize this is very inexpensive, so you might wonder what the catch is. And I know there's some websites out there that offer you a great deal on something, but then they stick you in some program that charges your card every month. I'll be damned, I copied myself again. Literally exactly the same. What do you know? That's why we call it assembly line copy, right? Once you get these chunks done, you can just start doing it over and over again, okay? So our next mission is to, now that we've overcome these, hey, what the hell is, why are you able to do this, or whatever their objection is, now we got to give them a reason to do it right now. And the best one is scarcity, but it needs to be legit. In fact, I would recommend it being legit to the point that it cannot quit, like we discussed earlier. One would say too legit to quit is how I would have it. That's the level of legitimacy I would suggest that we strive for. One that makes quitting impossible physically. So, here's how you do it, okay? Time is of the essence. And this is literally like I'm taking screenshots of the letter verbatim. So these aren't just sections of the letter. This is right under the thing I just showed you on the letter. I just couldn't get it all on one page without it being super impossible to read. So time is of the essence. In most cases, this is me selling the downloadable book, right? In most cases, I take a loss when selling the book at this price. It cost me just over $21 in advertising expense to sell one book. So why would I do that? Simple. I'm making this offer with the idea that you'll be very impressed with what I'm giving you today, and you'll want to do more business with me in the future. Don't worry, I don't have a sales team that'll call you and bother you or anything like that. It's actually the opposite. I'm betting that you'll enjoy the book so much that you'll call me. Anyway, without all that said, this is a limited offer. I probably could have gone even further on that. You know, I'm not quite sure if this is going to work. I'm not quite sure how long I'm willing to keep losing $21 every time I give this book to someone for $5.60. So if you want to take advantage of my temporary insanity, order right now. All right? Here's one for me selling the physically shipped version. This is for Convert, I believe. Time is of the essence. Here's why. I've ordered 1,000 copies of this book as a test. They're packaged up and ready to be shipped immediately. In all likelihood, they'll sell out almost instantly. Why? Because my businesses have a combined 327,500 satisfied customers and subscribers. That was when I did this in partnership with Digital Marketer. My list isn't that big. I'm telling you that because I don't want you to think you need to have a giant list in order to do well online. My active list is about 75,000 people. You ain't got to have a giant list. You just use the right process. You don't need subscribers, you need buyers. You can't cash subscribers. All right, because my business is, here we go. And the last time I released a new book, it sold 18,500 copies in a few short weeks. So it's simply a matter of supply and demand. 100% truthful statements, all right? So we have real legitimate reasons for scarcity. So if you're gonna use scarcity, A, take the offer away at some point, and B, tell them why it's scarce, you know? Don't just make it up. Yes, sir, Dr. Charlie Martin, MD, DDS rather.
Frank, you have made a point of buyers not subscribing.
Yeah.
Any subscribers,
What I mean is email subscribers versus buyers. So like an opt-in is worth X and a buyer, even a $5.60 buyer is worth 10X. So that's what I mean. Yeah, because people are like, yeah, my list is 500,000. Like, I don't give a shit how big the list is, how many people click and how many people buy things. You know? Yeah, I want them to pay something because of the way this whole process is built, right? If you combine the book with the one-click upsells with the webinar formula, typically, on average, I'm making $1.19 over 30 days for every dollar I put in the system. It doesn't work as well with an email. I might make $1.19 with the email list, so I might run, hey, get on this free webinar or whatever, and then it'll, I'll spend $1 and I'll get $1.19 back over 30 days or whatever, but I don't have buyer data from all those people. I can't mail them, I can't call them. We don't outbound call anyway, but if I wanted to, I could, and one day we might. You never know, Robo-dial them and whatever other blatant violations we can do that we would immediately get killed for, but for whatever reason, every telemarketer in the sun likes to do to me. Let me finish, if you don't mind, and then we'll do like an official Q&A thing, because I'll lose my train of thought here. We're on a good roll. We ain't got but 8 more slides. Okay, so our next step here is optimal but advised. Introduce another bonus. This is something I call bonus stacking, and it can be done in one single offer, or it can be done in a campaign where you continually add bonuses the closer you get to a deadline. Both strategies work very, very well. So here's how we do it, and I'll take from both letters here. This is from the convert letter. I wouldn't run this ad again because this is old data, so it would be factually inaccurate, and because I don't like income claims that big. So, one more thing. You're also getting a brand new video training where I deconstruct a new approach that brought in $710,977 in gross sales in 9 days. Hey, what do you think that video training is? Could it be a webinar? Could it be the same webinar that I used to write the book from? Yes, it is. Okay, this is a new approach, or this was a new approach I wasn't entirely sure of, but boy, did it ever work. Anyway, I'm creating a full-blown training around this approach, and I'm giving you this hour-long advanced preview version of it in hopes you'll give me your feedback. And by the way, I plan to sell this in the future for at least $1,000, so I want you to know this isn't some gimmick. It's a real advanced level, in-depth training where you're not only seeing every aspect of a winning marketing strategy, you're also being shown how to implement it. You know what that training was? Mass conversion. Mass conversion is what was sold on the back of the Convert book, right? Worked really, really well, and that really was a true statement. I built some campaigns with Digital Marketer, and it crushed. Of course, it's hard not to crush when you have that much forward momentum, but still, it was pretty cool. Here's the one for the consulting book. You're also getting an advanced 90-minute training free. During this training, I'll walk you through exactly what's working to get clients right now. You'll see the actual ads I'm running. You'll see the emails I'm using. I'll even tell you exactly what to say to get clients chasing after you, and there's no charge for it. I want you to have this as my gift for checking out the book. I need to go back and put bullets under that, because I bet I could bump that conversion up if I used the same bullet formulas and stacked about 20 bullets beneath the description of that webinar training. By the way, the webinar that I'm talking about is the same webinar that was used to write the book. And so far, we had 1 out of 49-something thousand people notice. And I don't feel the slightest bit of remorse around it, because I'm happy to give them good content in any modality that I can. I should strip the damn audio out of the webinar and also include an MP3 download for them of the audio. You know, why not? As long as I can get them the information promised in here, I'm happy, and they are too. So our next phase is now the guarantee. So most people, by the way, would be throwing guarantee right over here at, we would already have done it, because we already said, here's what I got, here's what it'll do for you, here's what I want you to do next, right? Yeah, we'd have already thrown it at right after that second chunk. But if you will just address concerns, give them a reason to do it now, and then add in a bonus, because the guarantee really is when you really start trying to finalize this pitch, you're going to increase your conversions much more. So guarantees are really, really simple, right? If you're selling something like a book or an electronic product, you might as well just go bonkers with how cool your guarantee is. So this is for free plus shipping. And by the way, even though you're only paying for shipping, you're still protected by the boldest guarantee in the world. I 100% guarantee you'll love this book and the new video training, or I'll return your $5.60 postage fee and let you keep the book and the videos anyway. That's right. You don't even have to send anything back. Just email me or call the number on your receipt, and I'll give you back your $5.60 with no questions asked. How's that for fair? I mean, who gives a shit? You know, like, oh, someone's going to keep the book and rip me off of $5 and say, yes, about 0.75% of people will do that. Doesn't matter how good your book is, right? Your book could contain a $100 bill. They're like, screwed you out of $5.60. Yes. Honey, is Springer on yet? You know, I mean, that's pretty much who you're selling. That's who you're selling. I mean, that's the customer that does that, right? And here's another one. This is from the consulting book. Oh, in case you're wondering, yes, of course there's a money-back guarantee. In fact, I think it's the boldest guarantee in the world. Oh my gosh, look at this. I'm copying myself. I 100% guarantee you'll love this book and the new video training, or I will return your $5.60 and let you keep the book and the video training anyway. That's right, you don't even have to send anything back. Of course you don't have to send anything back, Frank, it's a download. But might as well point it out, right? I mean, you think I'm joking, but Claude Hopkins made Schlitz the #1 beer in America by saying, yeah, here's how we brew it. It was the exact same process everyone else uses. He just made a big deal out of it. So to your customer, they're not going to be like, yeah, why I wouldn't have to send it back, it's a download, right? You're just making the point that it's extremely convenient for them to take advantage of this reversal of risk. I'll do it. Almost done. Almost done. I'm spitting a lot today. You guys are lucky that we have this barrier. I think if you were sitting right here, it would be awful. So now we do the CTA. That stands for call to action. Mine's super easy, right? How's that for fair? So I'm right off the back of the guarantee. Okay, so again, like all these screenshots are literally, there's no hidden stuff between them. I'm just doing it so you can see each chunk here. How's that for fair? This is truly a limited offer, so claim your copy now before they're all gone. Thanks for taking the time to read this letter, and I look forward to hearing from you soon. Frank. Both of them are identical. That's the whole call to action. Our next step is the PS. You got to have you a PS. The best thing about the PS is you should restate your offer and give a summary of it, right? Because a lot of people go straight to the PS in the letter. I'm one of those people. I always go straight to the PS. I'm like, I don't want to read that. That's words and stuff. Words and hard, and there's no pictures or nothing, right? So here's how I do the PS. And you'll notice how these are identical just about in both letters. So PACE. In case you're one of those people like me who just skip to the end of the letter, here's the deal. Man, that has been ripped off so many times. I'm glad it has, as long as the people are selling cool stuff with it. I'm offering you a 68-page book. This is for consulting. I'm offering you a 68-page book that outlines how to get high-paying consulting clients even if no one's ever heard of you. The book is $560. I'm also walking you through a stealth persuasion system. I created this causing qualified prospects to ask me to help them and then turns them into high-paying clients for me. Don't worry, stealth doesn't equate to sneaky or anything like that. It's 100% built on goodwill and being helpful. What's important about this is it doesn't use any pressure, convincing, or any of the typical stuff you might associate with sales. And in my experience, it simply works better. On top of all that, I'm giving you a 90-minute online training free, which shows you exactly how to implement what you learn in the book. This is a very limited offer because it's a marketing test. There's no catch to this offer. You will not be signing up for any trial to some monthly program or anything like that. In fact, if you don't like the book, let me know, and I'll even give you back the $560. You don't even need to send the book back. Click here and claim your copy now. You won't regret it. So if we took that PS, I mean, that's a really solid mini sales letter right there. Now, we wouldn't just send the PS blind. It probably wouldn't convert. But for your person who's a PSer, they're going to like, okay, well, this sounds interesting. Let's see what the letter's about, right? So we want to do that. I follow the exact same framework here. PS, in case you're one of those people like me who just skipped to the end of the letter, here's the deal. Instead of a 68-page book, now I'm mailing you a 75-page book that outlines the exact marketing approaches I've used to create wildly successful internet sales systems for my own businesses and for my clients. The book is free, and all you pay is the shipping of $560. So look at the differences here. Let's see if the red thing will work this close. Kind of. The book is $560, the book is free, and all you pay is the shipping of $560. I'm also giving you an hour-long video training which outlines a recent promotion. I'm also walking you through a stealth persuasion system I created. All right? This is a very limited offer because I've only ordered 1,000 copies of the book. This is a very limited offer because it's a marketing test. There's no catch to this offer. You'll not be signing up to any trial. There's no catch to this offer. In fact, if you don't like the book, let me know. You get back your $5.60. Click here and claim your copy. Same thing. Slightly different. You know, I mean, not verbatim every single step of the way, but pretty dang close because it's assembly line. Right? The greatest breakthrough in the Industrial Revolution was well, I don't know if that's entirely true, but at least one of the significant breakthroughs was the creation of assembly line process in manufacturing. So if we can take the same thing with copy, because copy is an asset, like these letters, I would redo the convert letter just to keep the claims down to a little lower tone there. But for the consulting book, that letter is an asset that's been producing revenue for us forever, right? Ever since the day we put it on autopilot. So we first started in 2013. I automated everything. Last May, it's been cranking out. So you never want to really undervalue the importance of a single letter that works And if you can make one that works, you can make a lot of them that works. And this is the framework for how to make these mofos work. And here's why I built it. I've got a very daunting yet very lucrative task where I won't say who they are or anything, but there's a company that does around $300 million a year. And I just took the gig. They have 16 brands under this company, and they don't do any online stuff. Their follow-up is non-existent. And I said, I had some help doing this. I was like, why don't you give me 50% of everything that I get from my marketing campaigns? And they were like, okay. And I was like, okay, you gotta go. So I was like, no takebacks. You officially agreed, and we shook on it virtually. So I had to build this, right? Because I'm not going to sit down and write 16 freaking sales letters. That'll drive me crazy. So the idea behind this framework and the other ones I'm giving you today are I could just hand them off to someone else, and they could be like, okay, crank out each and every step, and then I'll brush them up if needed, and we'll be good to go. So if it's good enough to work on this project, it's good enough for you guys to test. Brooks used it effectively. Who else did it great recently? Nick Bentley, who I don't think is here. Nick, are you around? Are any of you guys here? Bentley Capital guys? No? Bastards. Never liked them. He just used it. In fact, I go over his letter in the March issue, which should be hitting your mailbox soon. Okay, so that does conclude, actually, the framework thing. So we can now do the official Q&A section for this, and then I'll let y'all take a break, because I know it's been 2 hours. I have no control. I'm not the mic runner. I have no responsibility. I will just stand here. I'm not even going to acknowledge anyone, so that way if anyone's passed over.
Over here to the
Laura's fault.
right.
You really do that so well. It just sounds so professionally done.
Sure. Two related questions. Yesterday, most of the ads were for offering the book for postage and handling. And you made a reference that you also were testing recently messenger ads. With the messenger ads, you weren't charging for postage and handling, right? They were just for a free book, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
On second thing, you said that the 560 was the rationale behind that, because you want to justify it, was because it was what the USPS charges for priority mail.
It was for, I think, bulk media rate.
Right.
Yeah.
But now there's a digital mail. How do you rationalize the 560?
I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. I just say, look, it cost me this much in advertising to sell this book. I'm charging it cheap because I want to put my best foot forward, but I don't address that. Instead, I address the fact that it's a test and that I hope they'll call me. So I'm just telling them why I'm doing it. Because there's no, if I'm saying it's free plus shipping and there's not a reason why the shipping cost is what it is, they're going to doubt that that's the real cost of shipping. And they're going to think it's shenanigans. And I don't blame them. So I got to tell them, here's why it's $560, because that really is the shipping cost. I don't have such an offer as a digital download. I don't have to say, here's why it's $560. It's just $560, right? The skepticism isn't going to be around why is it $560 in the free plus shipping. It's going to be, how do I know this is really the cost of shipping? So that's why I'm that specific in that particular scenario. That's the skepticism I'm overcoming.
Okay. So, but now that you don't have the shipping, you're addressing the fact that it's cost you $21, which is...
Yeah, and that's the reason, that's actually, I'm not addressing why it's $560 at all, because it's I just tell them, hey, I'm trying to put my best foot forward. When I address the $21 thing, it's really $24 now, unfortunately, but we still make it work. I'm telling them that's why they need to order now, because it's a marketing test, which it is. Yeah.
Your left.
To the left.
Hi, Frank. My name is Jonathan Tees. My question is regarding advertising. On an earlier training call, you suggested for someone that doesn't have a list to advertise like a free bribe in order to build that list. In your training today, you mentioned selling the book for $560, which makes sense because you want a customer.
Mm-hmm.
So in your opinion, does it make more sense to sell your book if you're still in the list building stage, or because of the customer acquisition process of it? Or would you prefer advertising the book for free just to build a list?
If I had my way, I would have everybody do this. So everyone who's giving away a free lead magnet, and that's a very general statement, so I'm sure there's an exception to the rule, but generally speaking, if I could force my will and impose it on everyone, it would be to use the book sale as a front end. The reason I'll tell you something like, all right, dude, just give it away for now, is because I know that writing a book, creating one-click upsell offers, creating the videos for those, creating a webinar, creating the back-end system can be intimidating. So I'd rather someone do something like free report to deadline campaign that works and can get you front-end conversions, right? So this is a better model, such as cardio and weightlifting is better, but shit, if someone's gonna do just one of them, I'm at least gonna be happy. You know what I mean? So if you wanna lift weights, great. If you wanna do cardio, great. I'm still happy you're still exercising, if that makes sense.
Right.
That
So-
would make one of us.
So basically, pay for the book essentially.
Yeah, I mean, if that's the right way to do it, is build the real thing, do it right, you know? It's just, at first, it can seem intimidating, and if you don't have these frameworks, it sucks, you know? But now you got them, so you have no excuse. I got nothing, dude. I'm not in control.
Rec Center?
Yes.
Why did you stop the physical and go to the digital? And are they basically converting the same?
Yep. They are for me.
So it just made it easier?
Well, it was an addition, because we had so much international, it cost me in fulfillment $13 to ship one of those damn things, to print and ship one of the books, plus 20-something dollars in advertising. So I was like, man, I'd much rather have profit. Let's see what happens if I just do it digitally and it didn't hurt my numbers.
And I got a second part of that. What was that whole thing about? You were claiming that the leads that came in through webinars were worth the most value overall. Like, I don't know what test it was, but I heard you say that.
They are.
Recently.
For an opt-in. This isn't an opt-in. This
Oh,
is a
to get
customer.
that buyer. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is,
So this is
all
a
right.
buyer.
Yep,
Right?
yep.
So there's two things. That's why I keep wanting to make the point. Opt-ins are X. A buyer, even if it's a $5.60 buyer, is X times 10. I mean, as a general, math isn't an exact science. So better than X. I'll say that. Yeah.
More to your left.
Who next?
Hi, Frank. Is there any reason why you charge $5.60 and don't do a compare at price for, say, this is $19.99, but you can get it for $5?
No, that's a great idea. And the reason why is because no one has gone, edited the letter, set up a split test, set up the metrics to track it. And they haven't done that because I haven't gone through the exhausting process of emailing James and saying, James, would you kindly duplicate this web page and create a $19 version and run an A/B split test for me and tell me what happens? Because that would be minutes, dozens of them potentially, of my time, and now I'm feeling pretty stupid. For all I know, the digital version would crush at 19. I have no idea, dude. I mean, it might be better. I could be losing sales because they might be thinking, this thing ain't gonna be any good. It's only $5.60. It can't be any good, which is why I say, hey, this is me putting my best foot forward. But that's a great question. I should probably do it. Someone
your
get
right.
James to do that, please.
Sorry, to your right.
To your right. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even gonna do it.
Have you ever tried a paid webinar? Because it occurs to me that if you're making a book from the webinar, have you ever compared it against a paid webinar?
No,
Do you think it would work?
probably. Yeah. I just like books, because I'm like, okay, what? I mean, if you look at Dean's stuff, his funnels, I mean, these dudes spent, what do you say, $100,000 a week on infomercials. What did the infomercial sell? A book. So it probably works to do the webinars. I'm like, well, shit, I could go through all the trouble of testing that, but if all these dudes who made a lot more money than me lead with a book, they probably tested that.
Here's my thought on it. First of all, it'd be easy to split test because if you made the book from a webinar,
It
you
wouldn't be
have both.
easy. We'd have to
second-
ask someone to set up the separate pages. And that involves the talking and the typing of the email, and good Lord.
Here's my second thought, which is more serious. So with the webinar, if they attend, they're going to I would feel like they would know you, especially if you're an unknown. They could feel like more of a connection because I sort of know this guy. Listen to him for some amount of time. Versus the book that doesn't quite have that. Because I think the book is going to have more credibility in the sense that, he wrote the book on it, so he must really know what he's talking
Is it
about.
right there on this webpage? Yeah, I think it's worth testing the webinar.
Something to split test, okay.
That no good Russell Brunson, and I say that affectionately, I like Russell a lot, has tried paid webinars a lot, and I think it worked well.
I'll split test it, I'll let you know.
I dare you.
Thank you.
We'll see what happens then. Watch it work. It'll probably do great, dude. I bet it will. Still think you should have a book, though.
All the way to your left.
Hi, Frank. Just wondering if with the assembly line copy, if there is ever a point at which your prospects get tired of seeing a letter that keeps repeating the same format?
Oh, this goes to cold traffic. So this goes to the great unknown. So this front end offer here goes to people who aren't on my list yet. But I do have assembly line copy for people who are on my list, and they might get tired of seeing it, but I don't know because I don't care about them. I have two categories of people in the world when it comes to my business. Those are members and non-members. So members get this much, and non-members get this much. They get marketing, and members get care, because all the offers are always good. But as you'll see later today, there's a way to make the same type of pitch over and over again. That's the whole, everything that we build is based on this double tap framework. And those offers lead with education. And so it's always different education to start, so you build goodwill. So there is a format for it. So it's not as mercenary as it sounds. You know, I am more considerate than I sound.
To your right.
Thank you. So I give away my book for free, and I struggle with, I take them to a thank you page, giving them an opportunity to schedule a call. My goal is to get on the phone with them. Is it okay if I take them, I've given them something for free at the thank you page, or after they opt in, is to try to sell them something? Is that
That's fine.
totally okay?
Totally okay.
Okay. I feel sometimes if I'm giving it for free and they're in, and then I'm trying to sell them something, then maybe it's a little deceptive, but no problem with that.
No, I mean, don't make it deceptive.
Right.
You know, so like free report reveals how to grow tomatoes is cool, and then now you got a tomato interested person, and then the thing that you sell might be like 7 ways to pick the best fertilizer, or it could be the fertilizer itself, or it could be the guide to grow bigger tomatoes, or it could be the guide to grow tomatoes in the wintertime, or it could be the hydroponic tomato indoor guide. Like, it doesn't matter. As long as you're not tricking them or anything, you're good. And usually going from free to paid is simply going from how to automate or make better and faster. You know, I stole that from Ryan Dice, and I'm not sorry.
Right in the center.
Hi, Frank.
Hey.
Keith here. I was your first caller last week's
All right.
call.
What were we talking about?
My camera wasn't working, so you didn't get to see me.
Damn it.
Damn it. But anyways, we were talking about professional services. I was talking about enjoying doing the technical work behind the scenes. I've run a publishing company for the last 20 years. Started with more direct response mail work and promotional products, like all this amazing cool stuff you
Which was
gave
done by
us.
Tyler's mom, by the way. So if anyone needs promotional cool stuff, talk to Tyler. It's family business. Did a great job for us. Thank you, T.
And or me. Very good job.
Yeah.
Excellent. I was curious about, you know, I'm trying to move more into the professional services, doing that technical work because I like doing it.
yeah, I remember now.
This has been my business for 20 years. Applying this stuff to more of this physical printing, T-shirts, stickers, water bottles, things of these nature, applying this type of thinking to that business. I don't know why I wasn't, you know, I was trying to read myself as opposed to apply it to this, but maybe smarter to stay where I've been.
Well, but you want to do professional services, like do the IT work for dudes that are actually selling stuff?
Yeah, I enjoy doing that,
There's
setting
a
up the
huge
pages
demand
and
for
stuff.
that.
Yeah, okay.
Because that's real hard for everyone else. It's not
Yeah.
hard for you, but for the rest of it, it's terrible.
Part of the
I have a
reason-
firm, I pay a lot of money to do it for me, and I'm thrilled that they exist. Without them, I would be miserable. So it's a totally viable model.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want
The
to let
question?
this stuff go, so I was just curious about also learning, you know, like applying this same strategies to the printing, you know, online print shop, let's say.
And what would the same strategies be used for? Like you would
Like-
use these to help the print shop get more customers?
Yeah, help my print shop get more customers.
Yeah, it probably would. In fact, who was it? Was that no good Perry Belcher, who's got like a super brain, actually figured something out for print shops. And it was that if someone, and I'm going to get these numbers, I'll make up the numbers, all right, because I forgot, but he had the actual numbers, and this wasn't anything he published. He was just like scheming. If someone gets business cards done from a print shop, their average value is like, let's say, $200 in additional services over the next, let's say, 4 months or something, and I'm making this up, excluding the business cards. So he had the idea of why not do the business cards for like $5 or something, knowing that they're going to come in and do $200 more business. And he had this entire elaborate scheme, which was basically exactly what we're outlining. Instead of a book, it was, we'll design your business cards and print 500 of them up for you for $5. And the reason we're going to do it is because you'll probably want us to do all this other stuff too. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. And I was like, damn, that's smart. And he's like, yep, Perry Belcher, bitches. And I was like, hot diggity. You know, so yeah, the same framework applies though. Instead of a book, it's just what they call a tripwire. It's a nice word for it.
To your right. Hello.
Yeah.
Two quick questions. One is, so when they buy the book, are you automatically putting them into the webinar?
No, they
Okay.
have to register. And
Okay.
then there's a sequence. So Infusionsoft will go, hey, did that dude register for the webinar or not? And if the answer is no, they're in a 7-day sequence that says, man, you got to register for the webinar.
Okay. And then the next thing is in long form sales letters, I come from, I'm in personal development, all of that stuff. So I'm old school in terms of images of the products and blah, blah, blah in the sales letters. Are we so beyond that at this point?
I tested 5 versions of the consulting letter. Copy was the same, layout and graphics were different. Ugly one won with just a picture of the book, and I tried like, you know, old school stuff with graphics of people like doing consulting-y stuff and all that, and it didn't work. But that just means that was that one test.
Right.
So I would test.
But like, you know, the product images of like, there's 4 million MP3s.
Oh, God, yeah, I'd have that.
Okay.
I mean, generally, I'd still like analyze the data, but if I were to guess which one would win, showing them the product would likely win.
Okay.
There's just nothing to show in here except the book. And I do have a picture of the book cover, but that's, you know, here's the book.
You don't need to show it repeatedly throughout. It's literally, okay, like once at the top. Okay, cool. Thank you.
The one right here.
Control.
Hi, Frank.
Hello.
2 quick questions. First of all, the call to action, I saw that you put it in the bottom. You interspace it throughout the sales letter?
No, I just put it down at the bottom. Because
Okay.
the sales letter, if you like look at all of the, if you go and look at the sales letter, it's greased shoot copy, you know, so you can go headline, it's a parallel message in the headline and subheads and stuff. So I just want them to go, get a big green button and be like, okay, looks legit, and then go read the letter.
Because I've seen some sales letters with several buttons throughout, and you know some people just don't go.
I think that in this framework, placing them ahead of time would be prematurely trying to close the sale.
I see.
So it would be bad, you know, because you will get them out of the message into an order form environment, but they're not completely sold yet, so I don't want them to do that. I want to sell them and then have them go to the order form.
Okay, now the second question is about selling a physical book with a free plus shipping. Basically, most books I see are $7.50 or more. Even I think that you've done Tony's book, right? Money.
Yes.
Okay, that's $8.
I didn't build the
for example.
campaign though.
Sorry?
I didn't build that campaign though. I just helped.
Oh, I see. But like for example, he ships that for $8. Obviously, that covers probably the printing as well.
Probably not actually.
Maybe that's a big
he's
book.
losing money on it.
Most books I see are more than $5.60.
Yeah.
That's my question, basically.
I think they're probably losing sales to the person who's like, that's not how much it costs to ship a book. You bullshitting me. So I think it's smarter, and you know, split testing would prove it one way or the other, but to be like, here's the actual shipping cost, and here's why I've chosen the shipping cost, or else customer's gonna say, I don't think it costs that much, and if he's overstating this, then what else is he overstating? Probably everything.
Makes sense.
Not Tony specifically, but
Makes sense.
if I were to advise him, I'd say, change that.
Thank you. And what's the name of the book that you made with Digital Marketer? So
We originally sold the consulting book together. Yeah.
the same book, because I want to see the sales letters online, if possible. So one of them is a consulting book. Which other sales letter you showed us?
Professional services and War Room. Yeah. So you're talking about the $700-something thousand campaign?
I just the examples you showed us, instead of copying from the board, I just want to see the sales letter. So you have the consulting book.
So you want to see the sales letter for the consulting book?
Which other book you have?
Convert. But it's not published anymore. The sales letter's not up. I took
see.
it down. So I went into Unbounce and screenshotted it. But I'll give you the slides, and you're seeing it's just in slide form.
Okay, thank you.
Thing. Yeah.
To your right.
It costs extra if you want me to publish again.
Hey, Frank. Oh, stand up. Okay. But I can't see it from here.
See, I'm glad it's not just me.
We need to get our eyeballs fixed. So, Frank, you implied some up there that you hand the copywriting of like that $300 million a year company gig to somebody else. Are you not writing those high as F value letters yourself?
No, I won't be. I mean, that deal will be finalized on Monday. No, it'll be, yeah, Monday. I got to fly out there Sunday. So, but no, I'm not going to personally write them. I'm going to architect them.
Right.
I'm going to say, dude, write this, and then I'm going to go make it.
Yeah, your professional service for them is collecting their check. But architecting.
Yeah, it's finding where the gaps are.
So the question I have,
Not even the ads. It's like, oh, you mean these people got out of their house, came to their car, came to an event, sat through a pitch, didn't buy, and we're not following up with them? Here's how to follow up with them. So
Okay.
that's the identifying that gap and then deploying the bullet. So the money's not in the bullet. The money is in knowing the target, aiming at the target, shooting the bullet, killing the target.
killing the target, headshots.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why use such a violent metaphor? Sorry. I've never killed that many people, really.
Well, they're it's heart plasma. How do you find a cool copywriter to off-task your stuff to, aside from being famous?
There's one. There's one right there. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
It's very hard.
yeah, do you like send off odd jobs to people, or do you like
No.
give it to your
So
team?
I have never really been happy with going and finding a copywriter because I've just said, except for John Benson, I did get John Benson to do a VSL for me and it worked really, really well and it was 30 grand. So, you know, I'm like, I'm not gonna pay these fuckers 30 grand for 16 letters with these different brands and then have to redo it. So the reason I built that framework is because every time I've paid money to write letters, with the exception of working with John,
You're gonna be doing this anyway.
I'd be doing this anyway. I would just like write a letter and they were like, okay, and it would come out and I'd hate it. So now it's like follow this framework, here's the swipes, here's the formulas, and now they can crank it out and I can go, all right, and tweak it if I need to, which I probably will, and I'll have it done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, but then I'm like, I could just give the framework to you guys because you could tweak it yourselves. So if you have the framework, you probably wouldn't need a junior, right? But I got 16 brands to build like a gazillion of these things for. So if it was one brand, I wouldn't offload it. But because it's 16 of them and I have to build an entire super system for these guys, I need help, you know? Yeah.
One in the center.
Hey, Frank.
Chris Johnstone, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Canada, father of two. Chris, you have the floor.
Thank you. What are you using to build and format the sales pages?
So I have to write copy online. I cannot write the dang thing in Microsoft Word or Google Documents. I have to build the stupid web page as I'm writing the copy because that's how I started. So for me, it's like if I don't see it in web format, it's screwed up and it's terrible. So I write them in like ClickFunnels and stuff, which takes forever because you're formatting it while you're writing it, but that's just the way I do it, you know, the least efficient way possible.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Right here in the center.
All right. What separates good copy from great copy, and can you tell without split testing?
No, I can't. I mean, I can have an opinion on it and be like, man, that's awesome, but what separates good copy from great copy is the bank balance and the ROI, and that's all, you know? I mean, that's all that matters. That's the job of the copy is to get money and fulfill, you know, not be deceptive or whatever, so we have all that obviously made clear. But the job of the copy is to get money and to get an ROI, so the true separator is the ROI. And I tell you, once you start thinking about that, like treat everything like a rental property or whatever, and is this dang thing making money or not? Life gets so easier because all emotion is gone from it. You're like, okay, I have no attachment to this whatsoever. If it's working, great. If it's not, next. Which is why I rewrote the VSL on Monday with no drama or headache, because I was like, well, screw it, I'll just write another one. And then that one worked, which was cool.
One up here.
Wave your hand in the, oh, there you go, okay.
Paul Fournier. Do you find that, or do you think that humor in these would be productive or counterproductive?
I don't know. It's a rough one because I think as a general rule, unless it just happens to be funny anyway, I would avoid it because the job is to get the money. To present the offer, present the benefits, introduce scarcity, stack the benefits through bonuses, introduce risk reversal, and have a call to action. If you can put something funny in there, then great, but that doesn't necessarily do any of those jobs, you know? So if you look at this, the framework, the headline's sole job is to get the attention to get to the next sentence. The first sentence that opened, if you want to X, then this is the most important letter you'll ever read. That sole job of that thing is to get them to read the next part. And so humor doesn't necessarily do that job. Not to say it wouldn't work, but I would just do the dang job, you know, and not worry about the humor.
To your right.
Hey, Frank, Marty again.
Marty Roseman, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Boston, Massachusetts. Do you still live in Boston?
I still live in Boston.
All right.
Except my kids are teenagers now.
That's
Just want to say thanks for
delightful
this. This has been absolutely great. You guys are so lucky to get this stuff like right off the bat. The oldest trick in the book is take the letter, read it, make a video out of it, put that at the top of the sales page, time the order button, and my question was, would you still do that, or would you?
Yeah, if someone would kindly make the slides for me and stuff,
okay.
heck yeah, I'd do it.
So then I would imagine, based on the framework, you would display the order button at the what to do next stage. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're going to have the order button at the bottom?
Yeah.
No other order button, but if they watch the whole damn video, it'll pop up at the top right under the video, but only right at that time.
At that time, yeah, delayed order. And then all of my one split test I've done, having the delayed order button worked better than order button plus copy versus no delay, like all manner of crazy stuff. And a lot of other dudes in our make money market have tested it to the same effect. Can't say that for any other market, so I don't know.
So, perfect. So then you've got all the bases covered, because if the people want to watch the video, they watch the video. If they want to read a letter, they read a letter. If they're PS people and they go all the way to the bottom, they got something at the bottom.
Yeah, here's what probably is the winner, is video, exit pop to letter. So they're watching the video, they leave, because Agora and all those big guys do it, and they actually do split test. You know, I mean, they're okay with writing the email that takes 12 minutes. So the video, and then if you try to leave, it says, hey, do you want to see a written transcript of this video? They say yes, now they're reading the sales letter. That's likely the winner there, if you were to like do that formula.
Excellent.
Only because them dudes did it.
I only have one other thing.
God, Marty.
You got to clear your mind.
All right.
I know that when I say the words, whatever you focus on expands.
Yes.
I now know the mental image in your head.
Yeah, thank you.
I just won the penis game without writing any copy.
You really did. You have won. For now. You won this round, sir.
To your left.
This round of a lifelong game. Man, I fell for it this morning. Oh my God, I got just crushed. It was Jonathan Cronstad. Any of y'all know Jay Cron? Cronstad used to work for Success Magazine. Now he works for Kajabi. He sends me this news, like the image is a burning tower. And he's like, dude, is this the place that was right behind your old place in La Jolla? And I'm like, oh, shit, I don't know. And I click it, and there's like 3 seconds of burning building, and then boom, hot dog. I'm like, why the hell did I, Oh yeah, this is a whole science. There's a whole community of people that trick each other. There's like an underground mission here. I totally fell for it though, and immediately sent it to other people. It's Tyler, I think, your guy, yep.
Hey, good morning. I'm the guy you were talking about yesterday who's like, this is so new. Like, I just started 2 weeks ago. Got your box, came here. I was like, all right, let's do this. I don't even know, like, to get put in perspective, how someone finds these letters.
We advertise them.
I get the idea. So, like, Google AdWords or something like that.
Yeah.
The idea?
The Facebooks and the YouTubes.
So, what I'm doing now, maybe you could just give me some idea where to start. Because, I get, like, make a list, just work through it, set the time, but I'm not sure what to do first. So, like, I have a wellness center. So, I go on TV once a week right now. And we have, like, a call-in to set up consultations, right? So, then I sell essentially a program like reverse diabetes, thyroid conditions, stuff like that. And then people come in.
Are you
and
an MD?
Chiropractor.
Dr. Levy?
Nope.
Knew it. Just making sure. Is Dr. Levy here, by the way? You sent me something by overnight mail, but I haven't gotten it because it came to the post office. So, pardon? Well, I will, but if there's anything you need like urgent help with, we're here, so just find me or whatever. Because it'll be Thursday before I see it. And I was like, damn, I don't want to like not respond to this in a timely manner. Anyway, sorry.
No, that's fine. So So I guess what I'm trying to figure out at this point, I've worked with internet marketers by my house, and people set up landing pages. So what happens now is just like a call to action. People go to a landing page, and then we're not, I'm kicking myself because we haven't been following up. There's like 5,000 people on this list. I'm thinking of creating some kind of product or something that they could do maybe besides a consultation. But where would I start? Like right now, it's
like immediately. Do you have other people to do the consultations?
I'm training someone right now.
Okay.
So they take me about an hour, and it's about.
Well, so you've got that 5,000 person list. That's an asset. They're all local.
Yeah, they're all watch the show. It's a local news show.
Dude, I would send an email to the list and find like multiple ways to get them to ask for the consultation before you do anything else, because it's just low-hanging fruit money. More consultations equal no money or more money. You've already acquired the lead, so any consultation that you get, it costs you $0 from this list of 5,000. So first thing is I would send them a series of emails offering them consultations. And to do that, get a reframe from us. You can have it. So a golden ticket program, which just means a fancy way of saying you guys can have anything you want. I have this program called Reframe that'll show you, I think it's 12 different ways to make the same offer. It was built for consultants who want to make a consultation offer without being redundant. And you can just have it for the low cost of $0. Get it from like Tyler or Taylor or any of the folks back there. So I do that first because that's your lowest hanging fruit. And then I don't know if I would go to info because they're coming to you and they're paying you a lot of money repeatedly, and I just build an appointment getting process and then get more appointment givers. So you have a machine that way over info.
So though, where would like the webinar fit in, and like, could I take these people and then
absolutely
create a book and like?
Yes, you could create a book for sure, and you should, and the webinar would pitch the consult. So what's the average value of someone who says yes to the consult over, let's say, 6 months?
It's about, over 12 weeks, about 4,000.
Sweet, that's perfect. So your numbers will work fine. So if you spend, you probably won't have to spend as much because you're not in the weird market that I'm in. So let's just say you're spending $20 to get a book buyer and you're at $560 per book. So it's costing you hard costs of $1,440, and you do 1,000 books, and then for every 1,000 people, so now you're at 20 grand. For every 1,000 people, you put them in this automated sequence. One of the pieces is a webinar. The webinar pitches the consult. Then you have what's called a goodwill sequence that pitches the consult, and it's after a series of videos. At the end of every video, hey, if you're into this, you can do a consult with our office. And if you convert 1% of those people into $4,000 buyers, you've made 100% ROI on the money. So it's good. You have the luxury of the $4,000 average ticket buyer and the luxury of the one-on-one consult in person. I'm going to guess that your consult close rate is pretty high.
Yeah, it's great, honestly. It's just getting them there. So I've been using TV, but I'm like, well, what else could I do? Like maybe just a book would be a lot cheaper.
Book would be great.
That's like.
And one of the things you could do to write the book is to get a series of informative TV clips, transcribe, edit, assemble, book, because you've already done the work.
Yeah, I've done a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there anybody else I can just chat with real quick about that stuff? Like right now I have all these landing pages. I don't even know if they're any good. Like somebody just made them. Like is there a resource where I could look at them myself and go, hey, are they good?
Or that's waving her hands in the air like she just don't care.
Okay, thanks.
Hook you up. But like your mission, immediately, don't even think about the landing page. You got 5,000 people, dude. So there's probably 40 or 50 grand on that list like in the next 2 weeks just to get them to come in. So if you're not following up with those guys, that's where your immediate money is. So to do that, I know it's funner to do, hey, let's do the new thing, landing pages and stuff, but I would rather have you get 40 or 50 grand, like immediately. So now I could retroactively take credit for all other money that you've earned even before you met me. It'd be great. And everything, I don't know if you saw the fine print, but everything to the right of the decimal point, it can be done at the end of the year, but everything to the right of the decimal point at the year-end total comes to me as royalty. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and I don't make change. So it's.
To your right.
Hi, Frank.
Hi.
I have kind of knocked off your sales page.
Oh my God.
Book.
The first time ever. Are you serious?
This is the book, and it's about golf.
Sweet.
I know that you love golf.
It's such a wonderful activity.
Big fan of it. But we had about 6,000 active people on our email list.
Sweet.
200 people bought it. And I was able to send it through CreateSpace with shipping and printing for $6.85, and that's what I sold it for.
That's perfect.
But I wanted you to review some bullets that I've written in here for people that may not like golf.
Well, I wouldn't try to sell to them.
Well,
because it's better to sell to people who like golf. You know, just,
well, a simple way to find marijuana if your boss unexpectedly drags you to the golf course to play with clients, page 180.
that's a good one. I already want to know what that is. Is it
No, but
ask the caddy or the dudes with the carts or
I
something?
just wanted to give you a copy of it so you can kind of see what
Sweet.
some of the other people are
Is
up
that
to.
really a bullet that you use in the thing?
Well, I just wrote it for fun.
Oh, all right.
Based on the bullet lesson. I have
I
another
totally
one
want
in
to
here.
know now. I'm like, what do you, how do you, is it just a look in your pocket?
Yeah. Well, I had another one.
Yeah, I want to know the answer.
Page 180. Have you been brainwashed by ISIS YouTube videos to love golf? Does it matter? See page 180.
I think that's the root of the whole thing right there.
But I just want to give you a copy. And
So is that copy for me?
Yeah.
Will you bring it to me, Taylor? Thank you. Awesome. And so you know what? Your conversion is ridiculously good to get that because that's 6,000. You sold 200 something copies of the book. So what's the conversion? What's the percentage of the list there? Like 3% or something? That's great.
well, we first started, we did the physical version, and then I experimented with the digital just because I wanted to make a little money off of it on the front end. And it didn't convert as well, but it still converted. And even the, you have to send nothing back. I left all of that in there, and it still worked pretty well. So
Well, yeah, because they have to send nothing back.
it was about half as successful as the physical version. I think most of my guys are older. They like getting things in the mail.
I do too. Yeah.
And those headlines that had to do with "I want to mail you something" just killed it.
Yeah. Oh, in your email. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, good. Did you have one-click upsells and stuff in there?
I don't have anything like that. So I just built that, and now I'm moving on to the next thing. So the one.
Oh, where's our time machine? Dude, run cold media to the sales letter that, how to break 90 in 42 days or less. Is this per hole?
Yes.
Seriously, that's me by like 5, like hole number 5. I'm at 90. Now I took like 100 strokes off my game because I learned you can just pick up. When you're 2 over, you can just quit. I'm like, oh, great. Okay. I didn't know that. So I'm like there for 30 hours. Build those one-click upsells and stuff and then run cold media to it because it'll probably work. That's good. That's a good offer. Well done. That's great. Man, are y'all okay? I mean, I'm good, but if y'all need to take a break or something. You're good for a break? Okay. So here's what we'll do. We'll do a break by gum, and then we'll do this is brand new, created with my main man, Dean Jackson. Or not Dean Jackson, Dean Graziosi. We'll do the $1 billion VSL framework, because Dean and I took all of his stuff combined with my stuff and built a framework over it for cold VSLs. We have got 3 spots available to the Come to Frank's house and go through all of his belongings offer. So if you're interested in that, talk to some of the folks at the back. It's the greatest thing in the world. You'll make instant money the second you set foot through our door. None of that is true other than it being a very good experience for you. And I'll see you in about 15 minutes. I'm going to make a call real quick, and then we'll resume.
Credit cards in the scammers, hitting the licks in the van. Legacies, family, wait and see, look like a panda. Going out like I'm a